Yo, how y'all boys, girls, days doing, man? I hope y'all doing all right today. I'm doing straight. I'm doing all right. I just got off of work not too long ago. Well, really got back home not too long ago. Got off of work at 4, and I'm extremely tired, but I'm still going to be consistent and show up and be here today with you all. Just gonna give you guys another breakdown and I guess just kind of talk about what has been going on with the DeepSeek and the whole AI world within the past like few days. But to start off, let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right now we're floating around 100, 101,000. Went up to 102 earlier, but just nothing really going on right now. Just floating within this range. Let's see, from these highs up here, we can draw a little box from these lows right here. So in ranging conditions, nothing that piques my interest right now. I would definitely want to continue buying, continue adding positions as long as news and things have been looking good for Bitcoin and in favor for Bitcoin to continue to the upside, not only Bitcoin but cryptocurrencies as a whole. So yes, this is something that I will actively continue investing in the years, days, months to come. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. Nothing much to really say there. On to gold. So last week we had this crazy rally all the way up here into my projected zone. Now this zone was based off a fib that I drew on the higher time frames. But as of right now, notice that we did get a break of structure. We had these bullish runs all the way up here until we got this lower high, in which I marked right here. We had a lower high coming right here. Then we had a lower low. So that is interesting. What I'm really looking for as of right now, based on what I see, is this little run right here. I would like to see whether it will break above this previous lower high, or will it stay beneath it or come up to just retest that exact same area just to come back down and sort of have a, y'all see this, like a head and shoulders almost formation. So we'll just see, look into that. And like I always say, it's all about patience. It's all about waiting. Analyze, trade. Analyze, trade. So it's all about the analysis, the waiting, the patience, everything that goes before the trade. And that's the most important, because the trading, all you're doing is pressing buy or sell. But you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position possible and you're getting in at the best time possible in order to get the optimal move. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to be waiting, see how this plays out. Next is GU. Let me go to the higher time frames, start off on the daily. Same with gold. We had a rally all the way up here last week, but now that we're all the way up here at this point, this could be an area in which it could come all the way back down, or it could continue coming up as we break these previous highs, and I can extend that all the way out here. Just something to see or test whether it will come up here and break it, or even respect it. It could do one of the two of those scenarios. But as of right now, it's respecting this area of previous support, otherwise known as the floor support. Small area of support right here, support, and then now potentially playing as an area of resistance if it does respect it. Right now it's just floating underneath it. It's just chilling underneath like it's a tree or umbrella, so nothing much going on. Ranging. Today we did, or yesterday we got a higher low, but yeah, today pretty much ranging. Not beautiful. Hate markets like this, but that's just something we're gonna have to see for tomorrow. And let me see if we have any news actually for this week. Let's see. Yeah, we got FOMC tight tomorrow. Tight. Okay. That is cool. That's cool. GDP, unemployment claims. Cool. So we got quite a bit of news this week. So let's see how that will push price and see just how that will influence whether it goes. Next is UJ. Bit choppy right now, but in terms of the direction, I'm pretty strong in my conviction for these sells. I broke it down on a reel or a short yesterday, but basically I looked on the daily time frame. We are obviously bearish, looking at how don't pay attention to all this back here, right? This is all irrelevant based off what we are looking at right now. Right now we're basically more so looking at this, right? All of this price, all of this data right here. So I'm going down to the 4-hour time frame, looking at this. This is bearish. Look at all these time frames. Trend lines. So trend line, I have this higher time frame trend line, bearish trend line. I also have this bullish counter trend line as well. Notice that it did respect it at a certain point, but then broke underneath it, but still at the same time respecting this long-term trend line right here. So that is something that I've seen multiple times and I've done multiple times in my analysis, is draw two different trend lines, almost conflicting trend lines, but kind of flow with my overall analysis and then respect both of them at the same time for that whatever move, whether it's going up or down. But in this scenario, it's going down. I can see it just dropping, honestly. Like, I can see this thing just going straight down. It's just really a matter of time, as like I said in, what was it? Yeah, just like in GU, just ranging. Nothing major for today. Briefly, a few minutes ago, I was just looking through it, going down to the 15, going down to the 30-minute time frame, just seeing, just analyzing, just going through. I'm paying attention to what I see, not what I feel. I see a double top right here, just drawing a little area of resistance, a little double top right here, area of resistance. No major breaks of structure as of right now on the smaller time frame. So I typically go to the higher time frames, go back to the smaller time frames, and then work myself back out to the higher time frames in terms of my analysis. But yeah, we're riding underneath the 50 moving average. I also want to mention that as well, so that's clean. But yeah, I do see this pushing to the downside. Notice that I have this higher time frame fill, point A. I drew my point B right here based off last week. Point C came all the way up here, basically a 0.5 PRZ, and then that dump all the way to negative 0.27. And I think that happened last week, or no, I'm wrong. That happened on Monday. Yeah, that happened on Monday. So it did hit my overall projection zone, but I see it continuing to the downside as we are still flowing with this bearish trend line. We're still flowing with bearish pressure. We're still maintaining bearish structure. And this just looks too clean, man. I can't say it enough. We got the fib underneath the moving averages, just multiple confluences that really line up with each other. Now it's just a matter of what price does on the lower time frames and whether it will maintain the structure over the next few days. And definitely news will and god damn, I can't talk, influence the way it will move, being that this is UJ. So we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, I do see it coming down to this negative 0.27. I also forgot to mention that this is something else I mentioned on the reel or short. So I drew a lower time frame fill from point A. Point B came back all the way here, point C. This is a 0.786, and look at this. This negative 0.27 matches exactly with the negative 0.618. So I mean, it's everything is just lining up. It's just one big story. Things lining up, things make sense. I'm just looking for this move to play out, honestly. Like, I'm just looking for this to play out. Just gonna sit on my hands for these next few days. I'm not gonna like rush nothing. I'm not gonna overthink nothing. I'm just gonna get in once the opportunity presents itself. And that's all I ever do, and that's all I really say. That's all I really advocate for. It's just getting in whenever it's time. Do your due diligence to it. Make your analysis beforehand, but don't overanalyze, and don't want to get yourself in a position where you're in an analysis paralysis, where you're making your analysis and you're analyzing too much to the point where you don't even enter, because you're still like nitpicky and you're like, okay, this is not right. No, I need this specifically to happen. Once the opportunity is there, get in the trade. Trade what you see, not what you feel. Moving on, AU. Now let me go to this one. This is where my markup is at. Now I haven't made a recent markup on this due to me just not really looking at AU like that. Okay, there's too much going on. Let me take all of these fibs off. Too much going on. Too much going on. Okay, so obviously trade what we see that for a while we've seen this bullish run to the upside. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. But then we start to see some breaks of structure. Like I mentioned, this is a previous higher low. What did price do? It break underneath, or it broke underneath right here. Broke underneath that. So now we are bearish. Now what I'm going to be looking for is, guys, it's the same stuff over and over again. I trade strictly market structure. Market structure will tell you everything, and it's not that complicated. It's simple. It's simplistic. You're following the flow. You're following the primary movement of the market. I mean, this is primary before anything else, before news, before indicators, before anything, man. Anything before support and resistance. Like, this is it right here. So I'm looking forward to some sort of pullback. It may not even pull back to this extent. It could pull back into these moving averages right here on the 2 hour. Obviously I'm looking at, let me look on the 4 hour and adjust to that. Now right here, it's literally at the 50, so it could come back a little higher, maybe to the 21 EMA, maybe even higher to this previous area of support. So we're just gonna have to see how far this can pull back. A lot of times I will use my fib, go to the smaller time frames, try to figure out which is the best time frame to generate my fib. I can do it simply like this: point A, point B, and then mark the C. Now typically I would like to aim for a 0.618 PRZ zone or a 0.5. These two are like the primal zones, but it could come back all the way up here. It could come back all the way up here. That's just something we're gonna have to see and really look on the smaller time frames, just to see whether it breaks structure, whether it respects structure, whether it keeps going up, whether it then, let's see, does something like this, come up, break structure, and then start heading to the downside. Like, that's just certain things we're just gonna have to track on the smaller time frames in real time. And then lastly is EJ. Sloppy. Let me go to the daily. And something, just too much going on. Let me take some of this off. Make sure you have a clean chart. Clean chart is a clean mind. Organized. Keep it organized. I'm definitely gonna have to go over this again. This is where, as of right now, I don't like the look of this. It's just It's just very bullish, broke, obviously bearish right now, but nah, like, we have the area of support right here, pretty much ranging, honestly, not really going nowhere out as of right now. Like, it's between these two zones, so I could draw a box if I wanted to, from these highs to these lows. Let me draw a different, let me have a different color. Let me do right here. Range. I don't trade ranges. I wait till it breaks out the range and give me some sense of structure, because, and this is why it's not clean, it's just choppy right now. We have this bullish sequence right here, higher highs, higher lows, right? We already know this. Then we have a break of structure, broke below the previous higher low, boom. But then what do we have? We are bearish overall on the higher time frames, but what do we have? We have this kind of, we have a range, but we have a higher low within this range, and then we have sort of something like this. So it's not beautiful. It's not anything that's giving us a sense of direction for where we need to go to, or where it's going to go to within the next few days, within the next few hours. It's just basically within this range. So if we do get a breakout, if it breaks above here or something like that, comes back here, okay, we're bullish because it broke structure. Not only that, it broke out of this range. We're having certain bullish structure right here. It's giving us reasons to buy. But if it does the opposite, and it could do this too, break to the downside, which corresponds to our higher time frame structure, which is bearish as of right now. So this would flow with that, and then we could target these lows right here. So who knows what could happen? We're just gonna have to see. To transition from there, I mentioned that this DeepSeek thing is taking the news by storm. So earlier today, I looked at NVIDIA. How do you say it? NVIDIA? I always used to call it NVIDIA, but apparently people say NVIDIA. I don't know, but NVIDIA, whatever. It took a, I think, 16% dip yesterday as this new app emerged, and I believe it's the #1 app on the App Store as well as the Android store. Am I saying under the Android store or Google store, something like that? But it's top right now. It's definitely popular, and people are looking into it. People are buying it. You know what? Tell you what, right now, I'm gonna download it right now. I'm gonna download it right now. I want to see what the hype is about. So apparently this app, right, DeepSeek, has utilized the same chips that NVIDIA utilizes for its own ChatGPT or its own AI sources. So it's utilizing the same microchips, and I think he utilized multiple of these chips. And the founder of DeepSeek, I believe he's from China, and I saw that that's basically how he got it started. Like, he utilized multiple amounts of these chips and created his own AI source. And not only is it more efficient, from what I've heard, it's cheaper, and it doesn't utilize databases as much as these other sources like Google. You got the Gemini. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Google Gemini. You got OpenAI. You got all of these other prominent AI sources. But then you see an app like this. I think they only had, they started the app with like $5 million. Whereas these other groups, I think OpenAI, they utilize, or they funded, I think it was like 16 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was around 16 billion just to get the thing running, and people are just constantly funding it and making sure that it's being maintained, making sure that it's running. And, you know, of course, people are investing into AI, and AI is obviously the future, but this is definitely an eye-opener. And what many people have said, this is a new direction into the arms race, as we have China and the US kind of competing for the most prominent AI sources and the most AI prominent apps that people can utilize, because people are going to AI. AI is the future regardless. It's just a matter of where we're getting AI from. Who are we utilizing AI from? What sources are we using AI from? Google, NVIDIA. There's different sources from China. And then we already have the whole TikTok thing. So it's a lot going on from the technology sector, and I love it. This is interesting stuff. The stock market dipped. In the Discord, everybody was talking about it. I didn't know what was going on. They were talking about DeepSeek. I'm like, what is that? And I looked at it this morning, read some articles, and, you know, got some info. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Nothing much else I wanted to say. Hold up. Yeah. nothing much else I wanted to say. This is it for the video. Yeah, nice little day, nice little week. I fell asleep in the car after work. So these are definitely troubling times. But I'm trying to get over the hump and continuously trying to adjust to this environment as a working young man in America, in this society, while at the same time trying to balance looking at new businesses, balancing day trading. So I'm knocking two birds with one stone right here with the trading portion of it as well as the YouTube. And we're just gonna keep running it up. Simple as that. Running it up, making this bag, chasing this bag in 2025. Because we are still alive. And I'm ready to dive. But I'm not ready to slide. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We almost to 80. Let's keep it going. 80 subs. So I'll see y'all in the next vid.